Hi guys, today I want to talk about the major scale. You're used to play everything in minor, say if you're in A, something like that. But one day you're gonna be at rehearsal and someone is gonna say, let's play Dead Flowers by the Stones, it's just three chords. Or let's play I Used to Love Her by the Guns N' Roses. Or maybe Modern Love by David Bowie. And then you're gonna go into the solo with your usual minor scale tricks, and people are gonna look at you like you're really stupid because you'll be in the wrong scale. So don't worry, it's very easy. I don't know anything about scales and anything. I've just learned all my soloing mainly from tabs of Jimmy Page and Slash solos. But then I got intrigued by that Slash solos into the song I Used to Love Her. Note that they tune down half a step. Here I'm tuning the regular, so play with me in standard and play with the record half a step down. So the song is in D, just like Dead Flowers by the Stones. It's exactly the same. And then at the solo, it's not going to go to a D shape in the usual box. That's not going to sound well. It's going to go to the box of the B. Why is that? That's because it's a major scale that you have to use in that song. And worry not, because you know it already. The major scale of D is the same as the minor scale of B. That's right. You take your D, you go 1, 2, 3 half steps down, so 1.5 step down. And using that usual minor scale in B, you have your D major scale. Isn't that funny? The only thing you have to remember is that you're not in B, so you're not going to end your runs on the B. You're going to end them on the D and start them on the D most of the time. So for example, in Dead Flowers, you're going to hear Mick Taylor do a very simple solo. It sounds almost like he had just learned about that scale, because that's what you're going to play the first time you learn it. Runs like that, you know. Very easy, very effective. You just have to know a few notes and you can get by in a live situation if you're a bit caught off guard. So remember just to try to end on the D's if you play the D major scale. So for example, here's a run. You get the idea? So now on to the solo from I Used to Love Her, the first solo. It's pretty easy and a lot of fun, and it has some bends, sometimes bending up from the note and sometimes bending down from up, like this. The strings are a bit hard and I haven't played in a while, so it's kind of hard to get right on the pitch. And that's where Slash is so good, and he's also so good at coming up with these great solos on top of his head. You know, call him sloppy, I don't think he is. I never hear him play bum notes, and to come up with cool solos like that, especially the second one you're gonna see, and the end of the first one I think is very cool as well. Only Slash can do it, and that's why he's so famous, because you can sing those solos. It's not just a collection of runs like Eric Clapton does, and you can't really sing them back because, you know, it's just like, it sounds like improvisation every time. Slash can improvise, but giving you a feel that there's a melody going through it. Anyway, this is the first solo of I Used to Love Her, and it will give you a bunch of tools you can reuse into your own solos in major scales. So it goes like this. You're in the first box of that B minor scale right here, right? Wow, that ending is very cool. Let's start with the end. He slides back down from the 17th, and then a few double stops here. Ending with a 11 and 13. That's so rock and roll, that's so country, that's so Slash. That's the beginning. Also a great position. You can either play but in your solos you can also play, and you have to learn to not to mute the note here. Very cool. Mick Taylor uses that a lot. The thing here in the middle, it's a nice intermediate position that you can use in your own solos as well. Save you some time thinking about what you're gonna do next. Be careful, because the bends you can do in the major scales will be different than the notes you usually bend in the minor scale. In the minor scale, you're gonna bend a lot of. That's not what you, and although it gets to a note from the scale, it's not exact, doesn't sound right in the major scale. So you're gonna bend different at different positions in the neck. So it's one of the things you have to be careful with the major scale, is where you're gonna bend your notes. Moving on to the 17th fret, I can barely get there. Cool little bend, and then you play the note behind. Here another bend interrupted because you go to a chromatic. What I like here is that is something that's very difficult for most people, and very difficult for me at least, is how Slash can stay in a tiny little box and do so much. He's there for like, I don't know, 15 seconds, and he's making the best of it, you know. He does so many things, so many different little bends, never twice the same thing, although it's very close. And that's also something you can learn from this solo, is how to stay in a tiny little pocket and do so much with it. And it's something that I have a big problem with. When you play a solo, you think you have to go all along the neck a lot, and then so many solos of professionals happen in a tiny little box, making really the best of everything you can pull from it. All right, so that was the first solo. The second one is a bit harder. A lot of technical things happening there too, but the start of it is really interesting. And again, Slash comes with stuff like that on top of his head, which show you how proficient he is. See, those three triads of on the basis of that, he starts the solo in such a pleasant manner. Already a lot of things going on here. Then it goes into this run. You see, and I cock it up every time I play it, you know. I've been trying to play this for 20 years, and once in a blue moon I managed to do it right. It goes, there's some permuting, some double things on the strings, and that shows you how good Slash is. That's it, you know, just practice this. Good luck getting this right. And then there's this cool repetition of bends, and here the technique on the picking will be very important, because instead of doing down, up, down, which would force you to go back up, you're gonna do down, down, up like this. So once you manage to do that, you're gonna see that your speed has greatly improved doing that sort of run. So it goes down, down, up. Instead of doing down, up, down, and having to go back up, you go down. In the same movement, it goes down, up. So you need control at the beginning of it. This. Cannot go too fast. It's not this, so it's. Oopsie, let's do it again. It goes out like this. Fingers are getting quite tired of doing this on a standard tuning guitar, you know. I haven't played in 2 months, so if you play every day, this becomes very easy. If you don't, this is very difficult, and getting the strings to pitch is impossible. So it goes like this. Actually, no, it goes like. It's the same thing again, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. The ending is something like that, it doesn't matter. As long as you finish on the D, you get a nice little ending there. Or you can finish up here. As long as you finish on the D, which brings you the. So yeah, there you go. That's the second solo. Very cool. Nice little runs at the beginning. Big run in the middle. A lot of technique in the right hand. A lot of power needed in the fingers here to hold up the bends. My fingers are about shot because I've been trying to record this 2-3 times. But the main take from this lesson is that the major scale is just a minor scale taken down 3 steps, 1.5 step lower, and make sure you finish those runs on the main note. It makes it sound just that little bit better, and makes it sing, and it's supposed to sound happy, so you have to find a way to make this sound happy. And the last thing, little trick here, visual trick on the major scale, is that on the first, on the upper string when you start it, you're gonna play 3 notes every time spaced by 1 full step. Then just down from it, just 2 notes, and then again 3 notes. Then again 3 notes. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If you just know that little trick, you know, it's easy visualization of the scale. Of course, you can do it on the upper here. All right, but here on this guitar, it's easier to play it a bit lower here. Easy to get confused, and I do get confused a lot, but practice it every day and you're gonna have double the fun now with your guitar, because you know the minor and the major scales. All right guys, thanks for watching. Bye bye.